Welcome to Trans Geek Girl. I'm Christina Talley, and per the Facebook contest, Tsuneko is here, and we're going to be doing some cosplay. Hey everyone, it's Christina Talley, that Trans Geek Girl, and if y'all remember, 2 weeks ago on Facebook, we ran a contest. We actually ran two contests, and this is Tsuneko. She does a lot of cosplay.
That's the thing I do.
And she's also one of my really good friends, however, and part of the contest was to win a spot and to decide the subject of the show, and she did choose cosplay. So welcome to the show, Tsuneko.
Hi.
So can you tell a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Okay, well, I'm Tsuneko. I've been into cosplay for about 10 years now. 8 to 10.
Just speak up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, 8 to 10. I've been actively transitioning for about 4 now. Yeah, that's the gist of it. I first got into cosplay after reading a manga called Genshiken, where it really just introduced me to a lot of geek culture. It's like, wait, people really just... I mean, I get it at Star Trek when I see people dressed up as Klingons or in Starfleet uniforms at a Star Trek convention, but for some reason it never struck me to dress up as anime characters at an anime convention, and that those are things and that I would be really into it. So I just tried it one day and it was great.
So you want to tell us about the costume you're wearing right now?
Okay, right now I'm dressed up as not an anime character. It's somebody's original character based on the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic franchise. It's Flufflepuff. They have a comic on... What's it called?
YouTube?
That's where they have the cartoon. They have the cartoon on YouTube. They have the comic on... I want to say Tumblr?
Probably. Everythly's on Tumblr.
Okay, then it's on Tumblr.
Even like the darkest things you never want to see are on Tumblr.
Right. Oh, God. Okay.
Yes, we went there.
Oh, okay. Yep. Repressed memories coming back. But yeah, a lot of people will choose to just dress up as their characters and go to a convention. Some will choose to be in character. Some will not. Some will match a body type to their character. Some will not. It doesn't really matter. The most important part is to have fun.
Also, I will add the outfit I'm wearing today is another one of her cosplays. So do you want to explain this one?
That one's actually just a generic schoolgirl outfit that I liked, so I bought it.
There you go. So not much of a story there.
Not really.
So what's your favorite cosplay you've done?
Oh, my favorite is actually Ayumu from Koryo Zombie Desuka. Okay, that's one of my favorites. But he is a guy who gets hit by a car, resurrected by a necromancer, so now he's a zombie, a sentient zombie, not a walker zombie. Those aren't fun. And he somehow gains magical girl powers with a transformation sequence, the dress, and everything, and it's great. And I have the dress with the biggest butt bow from hell and the pink chainsaw, and it's fun. One of my absolute favorite would be Kasanoda from Oran High School Host Club. I have both the school uniform and the maid dress that got him most of his fan base. So yeah, that's one of the most fun. But this is, for getting into character while at a con, it's definitely Flufflepuff because I relate to her so much. And I don't have to talk much. She doesn't talk. She's nonverbal. She just makes and follows around Queen Chrysalis because why not?
Hey, somebody must have to have a hobby.
Of course.
So when you figure out to do a cosplay, how long does it generally take you to put the costume together?
Oof. That varies on complexity. Something like this, it's pretty simple. You can find a lot a lot of characters who just typically wear casual clothes, but can be identified to that character. For example, this is just a t-shirt, a little denim skirt, and these fluffy leg warmers here that are just really fluffy. So you can just buy the leg warmers. This hat was actually a gift from me a while ago. I threw that into the costume. This I picked up. Wasn't this yours?
It probably was.
Yeah, I picked this up at a trans clothing swap.
Actually, I think it was. I think I bought it, and like when I first started transition, I never wore it because I was like too afraid to wear anything that short.
And I got the tights from actually a ballet store because I couldn't find the right pink that I liked. Every other set of pink tights or pink leggings were just, they had that ugly salmon brownish tone to them. I didn't like it. And this I seriously got from Spencer's. I told them the right pump on a shirt. I picked out a font. That was it. But something more complex, like you get some of those really artsy school uniforms. Sometimes I will start with like, I'm not kidding, a suit jacket, and just modify it from there.
Why a suit jacket?
Well, it was a guy's uniform at the time. But I haven't made a costume from scratch in years now, actually. But it takes a lot of time that I really don't have to devote to costumes right now. I would like to sometime soon again, but it's really hard to say.
Well, unfortunately, life does get in the way a lot of times.
I know, right?
And it sucks.
It does.
So what would be some future cosplays that you would like to try to pull off?
Oof. Every cosplayer has that list. And it is always a long, long list. For example, Sailor Mercury, because why not? Rabbit from... what's the band? Steam Powered Giraffe. The newer version of Rabbit, not the older version, because she is now trans, and I love that costume. I love the corset. I love the hair dread she has. Everything is amazing about that. I just want to do that. Try to learn the makeup for it. Another recent one I added to that list is Zarya from Overwatch.
I wouldn't mind doing Diva from Overwatch.
I would like to see you as Diva from Overwatch. I'd like to see you as Miss Moxie, too. But...
That was actually going to be one of the next questions. What? Because I have never cosplayed before. I know, it's like...
But yeah.
So this is my first actual cosplay I've ever worn, so... yeah, what cosplays could you see me pull off?
Well, we went over this on your last show. I'd like to see you as Pearl. And I'd be Jasper from Steven Universe. Miss Moxie from the Borderlands series, definitely. Let's see, what else would you be good? You'd actually make a good Sailor Jupiter.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, with that hair, with that curly hair, yeah.
My mess of a hair.
It works for it. But like I said, don't let body types restrict you. Just do whatever you love. I mean, I know there's a lot of elitism in cosplay right now over the last about 4 or 5 years because models have been getting into it, like professional models, just to get a bigger fan base. And because of that, a lot of people are fat shamed. A lot of people are, you're black, why are you dressed as Ichigo? It's like, whoa, no.
I've actually seen blow-ups like that on Facebook personally, where people were going off on this. Like, I'm like, what's the point? She actually pulls it off beautifully. I mean, leave her alone.
Yeah, the fuck's your problem? She's dressed as a character.
The thing
that's the point.
People forget about like cosplay, which one thing I do know, which is one reason I've been wanting to get into cosplay. I know I've talked to you a couple times about it. It's just finances and everything else.
Yeah.
So how about this before we go on to Terra? Who would like to see me next time? Because I'm planning to go to Cecil Comic-Con in April. So it's only a month away. Who would like to see me do my show from there, which I was planning to do anyway, but do it in costume? Do me a favor, like, subscribe below. I mean, comment below. Let me know if you would actually like to see that or not. Because
of course they would.
If you guys want to do it, want to see it, I'll make it happen.
Do you want suggestions on that too? Suggestions for costumes?
Well, we'll talk about that one afterwards because that's going to be a surprise.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
But we'll see what you guys think about it first. So, yep, I'm going to put it out there right now. So,
Yeah.
it could happen, but that's up to you. That's up to the viewer base. If you guys want to see it, say yes. If you guys don't want to see it, say no. Plain and simple. I know we already got one yes, so we already had one. So what was the most intricate cosplay you've ever done?
Oh, that would be Ayumu again from the Korewa Zombie Desuka. That is a 2-layer dress. Like I just said, the giant butt bow from hell, the bonnet with giant bows on it, and the prop too. I'm more of a prop builder than an actual costume maker. So what I really did for this prop is I bought a chainsaw. Like just a straight up chainsaw.
A real chainsaw?
I bought a chainsaw, yes. I took it apart. I took out the blade. I made a new blade out of some like clear Lexan that I got from an apartment building. They were just throwing it out. I used a jigsaw to shape it. Then I sanded it, primed it, colored it, and made sure to cut it out so it'd have the same shape as the base of the chainsaw blade. And I used that to mount it right in there, like the original blade.
And why did you not leave the original blade on there?
Okay, so most conventions have a problem with something called live steel. They do not like metal armor. They do not like metal weapons, no matter how dull or useless they are. It's anything that can be sharpened while you're there. You could, for example, take in your own sharpening supplies, or you can do it, prison style and just go into a bathroom with a block wall and scrape at that for about an hour and a half until you have a deadly weapon and then be a problem.
And does that really happen? I know it happened at least once before.
Of course,
where
it happened.
that
That's
guy
why we have
was.
a rule for it.
Well, I just remember though. I can't remember where it was. I think it was Indie Comic Con. I'm not sure. I'd have to check the sources on this, so don't quote me. But I just remember the guy went into a Comic Con with live weapons, claiming he was the Punisher. I do remember that. It was last year. So
Yeah,
it does. Unfortunately, it does happen. But does it really happen a lot though?
Not that I've heard of. They are extremely strict with that. Like I said, it's not just weapons; it's armor. They won't let you bring in metal armor most of the time. You'd have to make it from something like felt or material card. What's that?
Cardboard.
Cardboard. Yeah, cardboard's actually a pretty popular one. There's been some extremes on there that's rather awesome.
I saw a duct tape stormtrooper once.
Nice, but even like a metal shoulder plate could be taken off and sharpened, and you're just wrecking somebody's day. But as for cardboard armor, I've seen a samurai in full armor, like cardboard, but made from Pocky boxes.
That's awesome.
Fight another guy who had the same armor, but made of Coors boxes.
Course?
Coors, yes.
As in the beer.
As in the beer, yes.
Oh my God. That's the one thing, honestly, which is really awesome about cosplay. I mean, there's people out there, like I said, there are elitists out there, and there's people out there who get hell-bent on accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
But yet again, there's people who kind of take it and put a spin on it, so to speak. Like, I do remember when we were at Dover Comic Con, I really wish I got a picture of this guy. This guy was wearing full Stormtrooper armor, like actual Stormtrooper armor, but he had Jack Sparrow hair and makeup on. So he was a Jack Sparrow trooper.
Nice.
I guess it was pretty awesome, actually. I mean, my favorite costume, though, I did have to see. I did get a record. I did get this one when it was during the contest. Was the guy dressed up as Big Daddy? That was impressive. But
Nice.
he was so hot out there. I know he was suffering. But it's a love. Am I right in saying that?
Of course. And crossovers are pretty common too. I mean, like the Pocky Samurai or the Core Samurai or like your Jack Sparrow Stormtrooper. I've also seen Peter Griffin, Robin of Locksley.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's hard to describe.
I'm honestly, my brain, I think, just fried a couple neurons just trying to put that one together.
At least you didn't see the guy. It took me a minute.
Like, wait, what is this? Like,
wait, I know these two characters. I think it's only two, but wait. Oh my. Okay, I'm just gonna have to go ask. Oh yes, about asking. There is a very strict etiquette when talking to a cosplayer at a convention. Don't touch them. Just don't even ask. 2, if you see them eating, remember, they are human. They're not going to stop eating for you to get a picture of them. 3, if you're going to get a picture of them, always ask. No candid shots ever. Let them get into their pose. Let them get their prop out. Let them do everything. They've apparently put a lot of work into this, and they don't want it to be ruined by somebody just trying to get a quick shot. Also, if it's in a more crowded area, like at Otakon, it's almost always crowded on the walkways, on the upper walkways. Just don't. Just don't. Just go to. Just don't. It's enough of a flustercluck there as is. Just
a what?
Flustercluck.
Okay.
Can I say flustercluck?
You can say clusterfuck.
Can I say clusterfuck?
Yes.
Okay.
We're non-censored.
Okay. So yeah, it's that. Clusterfuck. There.
Clusterfuck.
There, you feel better?
It's easy, clusterfuck.
I was about to say it backwards again and stammer on it. I was trying to prevent that.
Well, if you said it really fast, I'm not even going to put the brain power into that one.
Yeah, just wait till you're in a more open area. And like I said, just ask. Candid shots are not cool. If you want to pose with them, don't be offended if they say no. Just, it's nothing against you. Maybe they don't want your open drink there. Maybe you're a little sweaty because it's Otakon and 95-degree weather in the middle of summer. They don't want to get any of that on them. Maybe you're wearing makeup and they don't want to ruin their costume with that. Maybe they don't want to pose with you and, for example, smear their makeup on their shoulder.
I mean, one thing I will say about that is another thing is we've got to remember with a lot of cosplayers, this is not an overnight thing. This is not, oh, I'm going to such and such con today. Let me just grab an outfit. No, they take, would you say months, if not years of planning, almost a year of planning to go to a con for an actual full cosplay?
Some of them will, yes. Some, like she said, with the with those concerned with accuracy, absolutely. Especially if they're making their stuff from scratch, or if they're using materials like the Warbler or anything, which takes days of work just to get one piece of armor to the right shape. I'm not even talking a breastplate. I'm talking like half a breastplate, sections of armlets, just...
Well, I was just say with the advent of 3D printers, and actually they're starting. They're not quite there yet, but they're starting to become affordable where anyone can buy one. Do you think that's really going to change the cosplay genre?
It could. I mean, I can see them being used to build like armor pieces and props and such. I've actually seen them build props. I have a friend who has a 3D printer, and she built the guns, Alucard's guns from Hellsing Ultimate.
Really?
She did, and that's lovely. I didn't get to see her finish them though. I think they're just sitting around. As far as I know, she never painted or has done anything beyond that. But she went through the trouble of using a 3D modeling program and just built the guns from that.
But I think it would definitely be a game with 3D printers. Though, it's definitely a game changer.
Definitely a game changer for smaller things. Like I've seen a Mercy cosplayer make her armor. And like I mentioned, the one big breastplate. It is one big breastplate. She modeled that on like a mannequin, and then went from there. I haven't really seen a 3D printer that big yet.
I'm sure they're out there. It's just probably very expensive.
Yeah. And then you have to... Chances are you're not going to get a lot of tries at that. You got to scale that thing to your body the first time.
Because it's probably not going to be cheap to print it.
Yeah.
And I mean, top of that, even if you had to print it out in sections, once you assemble it, then you just wasted all that time and all that product on not getting it right the first time.
Exactly.
So, anyway, so how often do you actually make it out to cons? I know you have a life like the rest of us, and you can't be spectacular all the time.
I can't. I try.
I know you do. So, how often do you actually manage to make it out to cons?
Right now, I'm getting to about 2 a year. I used to do upwards of 8 to 12. But with my job, it doesn't pay as much as my last job when I was doing that. I recently got weekends again because of a circumstance at my job. I work retail. Weekends are nearly unheard of, really. But I have that again. I can start going to more conventions. It's just I got to plan a little farther ahead because it used to be. Oh, and I don't have a car now.
We have a scooter.
I'm not going to Crystal City, Virginia on a scooter.
This is true.
But it used to be just load up the car on Thursday, go to work on Friday, shower, hop back in the car, and go to the convention Friday afternoon after I'm done work and be there till Sunday night, pick up my groceries on the way home, and then back to work the next day like nothing ever happened. Now I have to make sure I have a ride. I can have that ride long enough to load up ahead of time. The last time I did this, I rented a car. That's just an extra $120, $130 right there.
And you have hotel and tickets and everything else.
The hotel, the tickets, or especially if usually I go there as a vendor, so I've got the cost of that on top, the risk of not making enough of that back to make it worth my trouble from the stuff I sell. There's a lot of risk involved in that. I just don't have the money right now to take that kind of risk, or really just go there and pay for it entirely out of pocket myself.
Actually, this is actually a really good segue to talk about your event, your stuff you make as well, your creations.
Yeah.
Which I've personally seen. I know she's sold them over at. I think you were at Dover Comic Con a couple of times, weren't you? I know you were at Dover Pride.
Yeah.
One year.
I was at the Pride the one year that it was scheduled the same weekend as the Dover Comic Con. So I had a lot more business. It was definitely worth my trip there. It was fun. I got to see a lot of cosplayers on top of all of the straight up drag queens and other lovely, just beautiful people out there who are nothing but friendly with each other.
So do you want to talk about some of the stuff you make?
I can. I make mostly jewelry. I make jewelry from chainmail. I make it from pony beads. Those are just the basic little tiny round beads on elastic thread. But if you put enough work and get enough skill and time into it, you can actually make some pretty intricate stuff. But
I actually have some of your jewelry too.
You do. I saw one of my bracelets sitting on
there. And
I
still have the anklet too.
That's right. I also make like little bell anklets because those are great for dancers and or our human pets. Oh, feel free to edit that one out.
Can't.
Okay, fine.
It was a joke, by the way.
Yeah. I also make this thing I call a rave helmet.
Which are awesome, by the way.
I have a friend of mine who has some damage to the back of her skull. And we just went to this concert one time that was standing room only, and she wore a helmet to it. And she was planning to do this ahead of time, so I told her, well, I'll just wear a helmet with you so you don't feel so bad. And it was a fun night. She got a lot of compliments on it. She bought some swag from the band, and they all signed it. And she just had a lovely time. So from there, I developed the rave helmet for someone like her. It's really a helmet. I've covered it in tube crinoline and.
So what is tube crinoline exactly?
Tube crinoline, it's hard to explain. It's like a cloth mesh in a circular shape, so it looks like dreadlocks. But it's also interwoven. There can be patterns in it. Usually it's blacklight reactive. And it's hard to describe without some here. It really is. But I have that. I put some, seriously, just foam board into it just to give it some more floof. And I have an interesting story. 2 of them were actually borrowed by Lady Gaga for a photo shoot to her Art Rave the Art Pop Ball tour. and they ended up in one of her photo books.
Really?
Of course, they wouldn't give me the rights to anything or give me any of the photos to promote it, but they did say if I found any online that it is now, was it fair use because it's just kind of there and I can use that to promote myself. That was one crazy night. I drove my ass to the Philadelphia airport to drop it off with FedEx. Live Nation paid for it. They paid like $300 something to overnight it to Chicago, and they sent it back within a week after the shoot. And it was just like, all right, come on, exposure. Wait, what? I get nothing. Like not even a photo. Oh shit.
Did you even get paid for that or anything?
Oh, of course not.
That's a shame.
It was.
I mean, that's kind of taking advantage of local artists, which is kind of crappy.
Yeah. I mean, I would have definitely done it for the exposure if I could just have like a couple photos.
Just give you an exclusive
Etsy.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, just something. But yeah, that's. Oh, I also make. Actually, I have some stuff with me. You mind if I grab it?
Go ahead.
Okay.
So she will be right back. We're going to pause for a sec. All right, so we're back. Tsuneko has grabbed some of the stuff she creates so she can actually show us.
Yep. This, for example, it's a simple stretchy bracelet I made with chainmail. The stretchy parts are just made with O-rings you can pick up at any Home Depot. It's elastic, so it fits almost anyone. If you buy them from me on site, I can customize them for you. It'd be a little bigger, a little smaller. I know everyone is different, but this size generally fits almost everyone.
This is actually my personal bracelet because we grabbed it just to be able to show you. But I mean, you can see it's definitely got some wear to her, but
and right here.
But I'll put it this way real quick. This is 2 years old, and I've worn it a lot, and it still holds up. So not only are they awesome to look at, they are very high quality, and they do last.
Thank you. And this is one of the anklets. She has those little bells on it. I love bells, especially with Dancy Time. I have a bunch of different colors. This one's a rainbow one. I also have a rainbow one with a black base instead of the silver base. I have all different kinds of colors just paired up and ready to go.
And you can do custom as well if you wanted to.
Of course, yeah. Through my Etsy, anyone could do a custom order. Just give me a heads up and expect a little longer for me to put it together. It's not just what I have on stock that I can put in a box and send to you.
What is your Etsy address?
My Etsy is Etsy/Magnolian Kitty.
The link would also be in the comments as well, so definitely check her out.
Yep.
Show her some love because she does do really amazing work.
Thank you. Just give me about a week to put it back together. Some of my things have expired. Some things that just don't sell well online, but do sell great in person. I'm just going to take off of there. They won't be available online anymore. But yeah, I would love that. I also have these. This is a bottled fairy based on the ones from Legend of Zelda. Because why not? Have a nice little rawhide lacing there for a necklace.
Put that right over there so you all can see that. Sorry about my nails. I know they were just done, but my work trashes them, so in advance.
And this is one of my personal creations here. I'm not really sure of the name. I've yet to decide a name. I've been making these for years. We're either calling this the Adventurer's Tea Kit, the Traveler's Tea Kit, or the Tea Party Crasher Kit.
I kind of like the Tea Party Crasher Kit.
Yeah. That's kind of the way I've been leaning for it. But what it is, you got the belt loop here. You hang it off your belt, hang it off your backpack. These are all leather. These are actually made from scrap pieces. So I can't really make a pattern because also these cups and saucers, I just come across them from yard sales and Goodwills. I can never really get enough to get a set to make anything custom. I mean anything pattern. Everything is custom every time. But it comes with the cup, the saucer, a little T-ball infuser.
And the also cool thing about that, though, is it means every single one is one of a kind. There are no two that are the same, so think about that one as well.
Yeah. There's the little vials on each side for tea and sugar, or just tea, because sugar in tea is kind of nasty. And these got these little demi spoons here. They're great. They come stainless steel. I seriously color them different colors with a torch. This is one that I just wanted an antique brown on it, so I overheated it just a few times. It's still got some of the purple to it, but it's got that brown tone that I was really looking for. But I've made like rainbow spoons. Purple is like the favorite one to make. Sometimes you just need that little bit of tarnish so it matches the rest of the motif here, especially with the brass hardware that I add on here. But some have the button to go over the top, some have buckles, some have just a big like pouch flap to go over the top, and then buckles down so you don't even see the T parts. But this, like I said, this is just one of my own personal creations. I haven't really seen anyone else make these. I'm sure they have, but
Probably not like that, though.
Definitely not like that. If anyone else has actually bothered to make these, chances are they've bought the cups and saucers in big lots. They're not the antiques that I find and come across and include in these. They're not made of the scraps so that everyone is unique and personalized. And also, speaking of antiques, could you hand me that bottle there? These bottles are hard to find. I've been scouring the internet for years trying to get more of these, and I do succeed every now and then. But this is actually a spice jar from the 1920s. I can't remember the brand offhand right now. I have it written in my materials list back home. But yeah, that's an antique bottle. It's almost 100 years old, and that's what these come in.
That's really kind of interesting.
They have the perfect proportions for.
And it's actually, this bottle even says right on it, made in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's even before probably those factories don't even exist anymore.
Yeah. But like I said,
as well as I noticed that was made in Japan also.
Yeah, a lot of like old china like that has been made in Japan. I don't typically date these too much. I think this one was from the 60s.
It's pretty though. I mean,
I know, right?
I mean, it's got the 24 karat gold inlay on it. It's got this beautiful floral pattern. Yeah, I can speak today. I mean, she really goes the extra mile in her creations. I will say that right off the bat.
Yeah,
like, I don't think I've seen anything that she's made, because I've seen her, I've been hanging out with her when she's been selling.
Mm-hmm.
I've also been to her apartment before, so seeing what she's also concocting next. And I've never seen anything that would just be like, that's all right. Her stuff is always like, wow, that's really cool.
But yeah, I scour the internet for those bottles. I go crazy to yard sales and Goodwills trying to find just the materials for this. It's not easy, but I wouldn't be
love it.
Yeah, I love it. I wouldn't be happy with some off the shelf materials. It's just it's got to have that authenticity to it.
So
yeah.
So yeah, she, like I said, she has many talents. Definitely need to check out her Etsy, because you can get something which is unique and something that's different. Something maybe even if you're doing, this would be perfect for, honestly, it's like a Hobbit cosplay or something too.
Yeah, those I make mainly for like a steampunk cosplay.
That works.
They're
I didn't even think about steampunk, but you're right.
Yeah, they're also, because of the Tea Party Crasher Kit name, they're perfectly functional. It's everything except for the hot water that will have.
And that might be in a future version.
Yeah, hot water is still. I was about to say it's on the back burner. Okay. Oh my.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've actually used those at like work before. Just heat up some water in a styrofoam cup in the microwave, pour it all together. And it's like, hi, I have tea and I'm fancy. Don't judge me.
And pinkies out for posh.
Of course.
So I believe that's all we have time for today.
Okay.
So once again, her Etsy will be in the end titles of this show, as well as in the comments. What cosplay would you guys like to see me do? Why don't you guys comment on that as well? What do you think would be a good cosplay for me? And until next week or next time we record, y'all have a good one.
りしてる最中、誰にも心触らせたくなくて、ほっぺつり上げて笑顔取り繕うために何をしようかのプランで愛を歌う。並べただけの単語に意味なんかないのさ、それでいいのさ。この気持ちに気づいてしまう前にケンケンパンひょうひょうと言って曲げそうな時はごまかして、それが何なのかわからないくらいに